This song is called She Moved Through the Fair, and it's really one of the most beautiful of Irish traditional songs. And to play it on the ukulele, it's really quite easy. There are only 2 chords. And I'm going to show you how to play them. I'm going to show you my fingerstyle arrangement as well, which takes a few liberties with the melody and the arrangement, but it's a really pretty tune, so keep watching. Okay, so to play She Moved Through the Fair, you essentially only need 2 chords. Now you could actually play D major and C the whole way through. My young love said to me, my mother won't mind. Okay, now we've got 2 major chords together, and that's because it's in the Mixolydian mode. And even though they're major chords, then we generally say, well, sad songs, they need minor chords. Well, no, it doesn't. Mixolydian songs can sound really upbeat. Lots of rock and roll songs like AC/DC use Mixolydian mode all the time. But they can sound quite tragic as well. Now what I'm going to do with my arrangement then is I'm not going to play D major and C major. I'm going to play D sus2. Alright, so just removing my finger off the 2nd string there. So instead of playing F sharp, I'm playing an E open, so an E chord. An E. Sorry. And with the C chord then, I'm going to play a major 7th. Now I'm holding the 2 G's here, so G on the 3rd fret of the 2nd string and G open. So I've got the note E missing from the C major 7 chord. And back to, and that's all you need. Now, making the fingerstyle arrangement then is picking the melody around. So familiarise yourself with the melody. So it's like that. Okay, so I'm going to start by with a couple of pickup notes into the first bar. So it starts and play just the G5, so the root, sorry, the C5, just the root. Go back down to F sharp and back to the D sus2 chord. Let's do that again. So I'm picking up my young love, sorry, I'm a very bad singer. And just filling in with some notes. Okay. Back to D sus2. Fill in again. I tend to... Alright, so I'm going to go back to my F sharp. Now in the melody would just be G, E, C, D, E, back to D. And now what I do is I start with the F sharp and I do a little turn. So up to the G, hammer on the G, hammer off again, and pull off again. Back to the D. Okay, so let's do that again. From the beginning. Into my C major 7. Back to D sus2. Now I'm going to play the whole of the C major chord. And then just flick down to the B to make it C major 7. Like that, so just pulling off from C to B. And back to D sus2. Okay, so let's just look at that again. C major 7, D sus2, C major 7, D sus2. Now this time I'm going to go up A, B, C, okay, and put my little finger up to the note D on the 5th fret. Alright, and I'm going to hold the G down here as well. And this time, put my first finger on the note F sharp and just do that. It's really pretty. Okay, that gives me a C sus2 chord. Kind of. Back to my D sus2. But this time it's not D sus2 anymore because now I'm holding the note B. Alright, so that becomes depending on what you want to call that chord. It doesn't have all the notes, but now we've got a B in it, so that's a 6. So we can call that D sus2 with a 6 in it. But that's only part of the melody, so it's not really a chord. Alright, let's just do that again. So, can you hear that hammer on? Down to that chord there, which is D sus2 with a 6. And use my little finger to flick off, so C, B, A. More filling notes. Back to my F sharp. And back to the C major 7. And back. And filling again. We're going to do pretty much exactly the same again. So to C. Play the note D, and then hammer on F sharp to G. Finger off to my D sus2 with the note B. And then pause in the filling notes, back to that introductory line, to my C7, finish with that note D, and the melody goes till our wedding day. Okay, and again I'm going to do a little turn starting on the F sharp to there. So you hammer on, pull off again, and then straight down to the note D, and to the C, to the C major 7, and then hammer on again from C to D, hit the E open, and back to your D sus2 chord. Okay, right, now when I'm teaching these songs, what you'll find is, the tab isn't exactly the same as what you're playing there, and what you're playing here is not the same as what you did on the recording. It's always like that. It's very hard for me to play the same thing exactly the same 2 times in a row, because I'm just filling in, I'm improvising, not keeping a strict time signature as well, because it's such a slow song and you can just go with your feeling with it. I'd say just play it in free time. Searching around on the internet as well, I find that some people have it in 4/4 time, in common time, so you can go, down, down, up, down, up, down, down. My young love said to me. But in fact, it's actually more 3/4 time, I think. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. But in fact, we're playing it so slowly that you may be doing both. You may be speeding up and slowing down. That's certainly what I do. Especially when it comes to those filler notes. Sometimes I insert an extra beat. I know it's bad, I shouldn't be doing that, but I do. Go with how I feel. If it was good enough for Bertie Yant, she's good enough for me. Some nice pauses. Sometimes a little bit of silence is nice. This is a story of lost love. Maybe it's a ghost story as well, of a lover who died. slowly as well gives you the opportunity to put some little bits of vibrato in as well. Okay, now what I do between the verses as well, there's 2 more chords to learn, but don't worry, it's really not difficult at all. So starting from my D sus2 chord here, I'm just going to slide those fingers up to the 5th fret, and that gives you an F major 7. You don't have to do this as well, it's not in the song, it's just what I do to transition from one verse to the next. And then slide up again to the 7th fret. What's that chord? I've no idea. What have we got? We've got a D and we've got a G. So we could call it a G chord if you want. And then we've got an A. We've got an A and an E. Sorry, A, E, G. What do you want to call that? Whatever you want, okay? It could be possibly a kind of G sus2 with an E in it as well. So a G6 sus2? I don't know. Okay, and then what I do is I hit the harmonic, open, and back. Let's just do that again. So I'm finishing my my first verse here into my F sharp, F major 7, into my G sus2 with the 6th, and I use my index finger to touch the harmonic and my ring finger to pluck the harmonic and back. Okay, right, and the best thing to do is to download the tabs. You can get them on Patreon. Thank you very much for supporting the work that I do on Patreon. If you want the tabs for that and loads of other fingerstyle pieces, song lessons, please sign up for Patreon and support me. And thanks for watching. That's the end of the video. Goodbye. I never know how to finish these videos. So there you go.